Good morning. Hello, how are you? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Anyway, yes, I'm in the kitchen again and I'm gonna make my man a yummy, delicious dinner. Why? Why does it matter? But I'll tell you anyway. So he passed an interview, which gets him in the next step forward for his career goals. And I come from a family of celebrating literally anything. We celebrated when I got my first period. And so I take every opportunity I can get to celebrate. Therefore, I'm gonna make him a delicious meal. What's on the menu tonight? I got a Caesar salad. I'm gonna do a bone marrow risotto and then steak. And then for dessert, his favorite, bread pudding. So this morning, I need to prep the dessert because it needs to soak in the custard, I guess. And so I have all of that stuff prepped a little bit. So I bought the pastries and the bread that I needed a couple days ago because it needed to be stale. And I broke it up in little pieces and I stored it in a giant Ziploc bag and I carried it almost 4 hours north to my boyfriend's house. And so I'm gonna start prepping that this morning, let it soak in its little juices, and then later today I'm gonna make everything else. I was gonna try to surprise him, but it's kind of hard to hide this in the fridge. He saw it last night. It's like, what's this? And I can't play it cool. I immediately was like, oh, let me tell you. So I have all of this ready. Okay, he's very particular. His favorite dessert is from this restaurant in the Central Valley. And I happened upon the recipe because they shared it during COVID and I tried it a couple months ago for his birthday. There were some tweakments that I had to make, but I am confident that I can replicate it again and possibly make it a little better. I think I'll be able to do exactly the same as I did last time. Alrighty, first step, I have 4 eggs and sugar. I need to separate the eggs from the yolk from the white because I'm making a custard. So I'm gonna use 4 egg yolks and 1.5 cups of sugar. I also have to be mindful of the time because I have an interview at 10. So I really need to be mindful of the clock because Lord knows sometimes I get a little distracted. But thankfully, I'm just prepping a little bit right now. The last time I made this, so this recipe calls for brandy and rum. I really think that the restaurant tried to do us dirty by giving wrong instructions because in the instructions, it was like, okay, after everything's cooked, then add the brandy and rum. And so I followed it to a T, and oh my gosh, it was so boozy. I think my breath was flammable. And so I figured out that I had to cook it down some more to get rid of the effect. And I think the reason they do that is because they give you the recipe and it's a little wrong, but they don't tell you it's a little wrong. So then when you make it yourself, you're like, something's not right. So then you have to go to the restaurant to get the actual thing. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, I got my egg yolks. And now I'm gonna add the sugar and whisk it. Also, I was too lazy to get the half cup out, so I just have the 1 cup, so I'm just gonna eyeball the half. It should be fine. This could go bad. Oh shoot, yeah, I shouldn't do that. 1, that seems like a lot. Whisk it all together. Whisk it all together and something of the best of both worlds. Ooh, whoa, whoa. Oh, yeah. God bless this man. He only has 1 whisk, this Dutch whisk for bread. It's basically like a paste. Bad news. I was far too hasty and I have poor planning skills. I needed 2.5 cups of heavy cream. I thought I might have enough, but I only have 1. I did buy more. I have a grocery order that's waiting to get picked up. it just slipped my mind that I needed some more heavy whipping cream to finish this custard. So not much I can do right now. I have to prep for my interview, and then that's when I can go into town and get the groceries. Ooh, why am I like this? It's not like I try to be chaotic and stressful. I really do try to plan. I think I need to do some internal reflection. Oh, well, I'll see you in a couple hours. Hey, it's later, and I am armed with the correct amount of ingredients. So, back to making the custard. I need 2.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. Oh yeah, look at that, I got the big one. Okay, 2.5. The recipe calls for 1 vanilla bean. I don't have that. I have vanilla bean paste, so I'm just gonna measure with my heart that much. Just a little gloop. All right, and then I have this. It's a candy thermometer. I have to heat it to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. No more, and no less. 180 exactly. This is kind of like a stressful part. So I have to pour the warm cream mixture into the egg yolk and sugar. But I have to be very careful because since it's hot, it could scramble the eggs. So I just do a little at a time. I wish I had a third hand. This might be a little easier. Okay. No scrambled eggs, I don't think. Whew, it's like a good forearm workout. Damn. Dang. I feel like that's why chefs have such broad forearms, because they're... Can you see? The next step is to whisk in some brandy and rum, which I did bring from my dad's house. And boy, oh boy, does it pack a punch. It's a 1/2 cup of brandy and a 1/4 cup of rum. That's what I'm saying though, like it was really just, I got drunk. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I did it and it came out really boozy, I got a little drunk off of it. So I'm gonna make sure to be very careful and cook it very well. I think this is like another way that this recipe is a little tricky because it doesn't specify the brandy or rum. So I'm experimenting. I used this brandy, E&J, last time, so I'm gonna use this. But I'm gonna try a different rum. I'm using Bacardi. I don't know if that's right. I'm gonna keep trying until I get the flavor right. Ooh. Should I just... No. That would make me sick. Bacardi hardy. Oh, wait, what? How did it go? Party hardy with a bottle of Bacardi. Ah. I never partied hardy with a bottle of Bacardi. I never partied hardy in my entire life because I was a bit of a loser. Loser. But that's okay, that's okay. Look at where I'm at now, unemployed and making YouTube videos. Oof. Don't like that either. Oh, that's strong. Luckily, I planned ahead and I have all of this cut already. So all I have to do is throw it into the custard mixture and lightly fold it around. Not too much. The recipe said that the pieces should be whole and not mushy. I want to make sure that all the pieces are mixed up good. So there's dinner rolls, cheese Danishes, and croissants in here. This is like the fat girl version of the Kardashian salad shake.
Know how much you guys love it. Eating a salad with us and just shaking a salad.
Ooh, this bowl is barely big enough. And I just mix it well. Fold it in.
Here's what you do. You just fold it in.
Okay, I don't know how to fold broken cheese like that.
And I don't know how to be any clearer. You take that thing that's in your hand, and you...
If you say fold in one more time.
It says fold it in!
So it's all mixed in. I got this going on. That would catch on fire. Honestly, that would catch on fire. I'm just gonna put it in the fridge and then just wait a couple hours before I start dinner. What's up? It's later. Theoretically, my man should be back home in like an hour, but due to the nature of his work, it could vary. So I'm gonna prep some stuff. So once I know like whether or not he's gonna come back soon, I can quickly whip it all together. Okay, first things first, I defrosted this all day. I originally was gonna do a filet mignon, but they were out at the store and they got me a different cut of meat, and that's okay. And so thankfully, my boyfriend had this in the freezer. So I'm just gonna season it and let it sit in its seasonings, I guess. All right, so I'm just gonna use some olive oil and then this seasoning. Buttery Steakhouse. I've been watching some videos today on YouTube. I like to watch videos to kind of get ideas on how to edit and stuff. But one thing I've noticed, I know this is just part of culture and how people speak in like slang, but I've noticed that all these people, when they're like, say this person's putting on their makeup or they're doing something how to cook, instead of saying I'm gonna do this, they say we. And you know what that reminds me? This is so crazy of me. I understand that I sound like a crazy person, but it reminds me of we are legion, we are many. And I try to avoid language like that. I know, it's crazy, but I don't want many demons in me, you know?
Not today, Satan, not today.
I'm trying to just be cool. Yeah, I'm just massaging it in. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do. All right, the next order of business is I'm just gonna prep cutting this. It's just one shallot. It's gonna be for the risotto. Kind of crazy. Sprouts was out of saffron. So I got like a little risotto kit. I don't know. It's not gonna be as elevated as I wanted it to be. What can you do? Also, I'm not entirely sure how to cut a shallot. I don't think I've ever cut a shallot before. I'm assuming it's kind of like an onion. And if this is anything like onions, I have to really make sure to finely chop this because my boyfriend, he's picky. Oh, it's kind of pungent on the eyes. Not as bad as an onion, but still, it brings a little tickle to my eyes. Okay, I lied. I'm starting to get a little teary. I know I shouldn't do it with my eyes closed. I should have brought the goggles. I don't know what I was thinking. Gotta blow all the onion juices away. Is it finally chopped? I can't tell. You have to tell me. I'm like crying legit tears. I'm not being dramatic. This burns. Oh, there's one falling right there. Come on. Go. Okay. One shallot finely chopped. But at what cost? All right, it's almost go time. I think my boyfriend should be here. He said he's going to be leaving around 5 and it's 5. Haven't gotten a text yet. Maybe I'll check in. Whatever. I'm preheating my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. That's where I'm going to cook the bone marrow. It says to cook it, I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes. One issue is that the recipe said that I needed to have a butcher cut it lengthwise because it comes in like, it looks like a vertebrae. I don't know what bone it is, but it's circular like that and I needed to cut it lengthwise, but I didn't do that. So I'm hoping that after I bake it in the oven, I can just pop it out. And also what's fun is that if I bake it a little more and then the bones and then freeze it, it can be a fun little treat for the puppy dogs. Oh, also, part of the risotto recipe is that it requires some white wine. It said dry. I have no clue if this is dry. I just know that it's white. I really don't know anything about wine, but I think I'm gonna pour myself a little glass while I cook, which is dangerous. I am a bit of a lightweight, but how exciting. Ooh, I don't think that's very dry, but that's okay. That's a nice taste to it. I feel like a lady drinking wine while cooking. I just need a quaalude. Kind of a hazard, I cut my palm while I was opening the wine. All right, I just texted him and he is on his way. The oven is still preheating, but I pulled out the bone marrow. That's what it looks like. Looks like bones. I'm just gonna pop it on this baking sheet back there and then bake it. All right, these just roasted for 5 minutes. They're supposed to just pop out. I'm not sure how. And then I'm supposed to put it on a paper towel and season it. Okay, it comes out pretty easy. Oh boy. Maybe I should have had a butcher cut these lengthwise. Sorry if this is gross. So this is the marrow. I'm gonna throw the bones back in the oven for the dogs, and then when I'm ready to serve the risotto, I just pan sear these and then pop them on top. Okay, it's time for the risotto. So I am going to oil up this saucepan a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna let that heat up. Hi, okay, it's hot. I'm gonna throw the shallots in and cook it for a little bit. Okay, it is time to add the rice. I'm just gonna let everything, I'm just gonna make sure that everything's coated. And now I'm gonna add some of the wine, half cup, and then I'm gonna let it cook until it's all evaporated. It's evaporated. I'm gonna add the bone broth, 2.5 cups, and I'm gonna let it simmer for 20 minutes. All right, this might get a little noisy because I have to have the vent on, but I'm gonna heat up this cast iron and then throw the steaks on. One tricky thing is that my boyfriend and I like our steaks cooked a little differently. He likes his a little more medium rare. I like mine rare. I was reading that you do like 3 minutes on each side for medium rare, so maybe I do 2 minutes? I don't know. I'm gonna find out. Anyway, I'm gonna get the skillet really hot, and the vent is going on. So even with this little microphone, it might be hard to hear me. I think I did it. I'm scared that they're either overcooked. Well, that's the only thing, because if it's undercooked, then I can just cook it some more, but I'm scared that it's overcooked. I'm just gonna let it chill. Risotto's kind of taking forever to cook. That's the only thing I'm really waiting on. And then I'm just gonna pan sear the marrow really quickly. And that's that. At least for dinner, because there's still dessert. Wow. No salad? Okay. I want to get a piece of the bone marrow. Oh, shoot. Mmm. The bone marrow is really good. Do you like it?
It's very good.
You like it?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
The
good.
risotto is so good. There's
Oh.
so much flavor.
Thank you. He likes it. Dessert time. I am preheating the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. It is 180 degrees Celsius. No, it's not. I don't know. I just guessed. Okay. Oh, do you want to? Okay. I'm going to butter these things and then throw the pudding that's been curing, fermenting. What's the word I'm looking for? It's been like not soaking, but okay.
I like curing.
Curing. The bread pudding that's been curing for the last few hours. Soaking. I said soaking.
It's warming.
Mormon.
It's soaked.
They do soak. Not us. We're waiting till marriage. This is the soaked pudding. And I'm just stuffing it in there, like really packing it in. He's a growing boy. He needs a big dessert. They're ready to go. The mistake I made last time was actually listening to the directions. It's set to cook for only 15 minutes, and that wasn't nearly enough. So I upped the temperature, and I'm gonna cook it a little longer. I'm gonna try for 20 minutes first and see what happens. Okay, it's in the oven, and while that's cooking, I'm gonna make the sauce. Another mistake I made last time was that I followed the directions, and it said to add the brandy after I'm done cooking the sauce, but it was too boozy, so I'm gonna add the brandy and cook it. This pissed me off. It ended up taking 55 minutes to bake that, so that was annoying, but it's ready. Wow. Wow. Oh gosh, it's so hot.
Oh yeah. It's steaming.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You like? But do you love?
I love it.
Are you lying?
No.
Okay.